The Yankees are moving on to the ALDS. Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Phillies House to a videocast, and today we're going to be recapping the American League wildcard series between the New York Yankees and the Cleveland Indians as the Yankees sweep out the Indians as they are now headed to the ALDS. A great series for the Yankees. Their offense was just unstoppable in this one, and that is why they won. I mean, their bats showed up. Now, guys, before we get into this video, please subscribe if you have not yet. Please turn the notification bell. Please like this video, comment on this video, share this video, and let's get into this. Now, this series came down to the offense. If you really want my opinion, it came down to the offense. The Indians did not have good starting pitching in this series. They were just absolutely terrible. I got to see some familiar faces over on the Indians. Cesar Hernandez, hey, old friend. Carlos Santana as well. Hey, old friend. I mean, that was pretty cool. Cesar was non-tendered by the Phils last year. I like Cesar. Cesar is a good guy, good player, nice switch-hitting infielder. I like him a lot. He could play good second base. Carlos Santana spent one season with the Phillies in 2018. We signed him to that 3-year contract that just did not really work out well at all. Ended up trading him to the Seattle Mariners after just one season into that contract. Then the Mariners didn't even play a game at the Mariners in the offseason. Then they traded him back to the Cleveland Indians, and that's where he is now. And his contract's up after this year, and I do not think he'll be re-signing with Cleveland. That I can tell you. Led the American League in walks, but he hit like a $1.99. He was not good this year at all. So, guys, interesting series. I mean, it's not really surprising series. I mean, this was a rematch of the 2017 ALDS, if you guys remember, when the Indians choked. Like they do every season, it seems. I mean, last year they didn't even make the playoffs. In 2018, they choked against the Astros. In 2017, as I said, they choked against the Yankees. In 2016, they choked in the World Series against the Chicago Cubs. Does not surprise me at the least. They have a lot of talent. I mean, Jose Ramirez is good. He had an MVP-type season. Francisco Lindor had a good season. So, like, it's just, and they're just a small market team. They had to go out and trade away Mike Clevenger. So they're a small market team who does not have a ton of money. You know what I'm saying? So they're playing the evil empire who has a ton of money. So this is just not really a surprise to me at all. I mean, the Yankees are a better team than the Indians. I mean, they really, really are. I mean, it's just they have better players. I mean, they're stacked better. I mean, their roster is so much better. It's just stacked higher than the Indians is, and that's why they won this. That's why they swept out the series. None of it is a surprise to me. None of it is a surprise. I mean, their offense was great in this series. Aaron Judge hitting a 2-run home run in the first game. I'm sure that was good for his confidence. He's been on and off the IL the past few seasons, and it's just been tough for him. You got guys like Luke Voigt, who led the major leagues in home runs this year. Unbelievable. I mean, that guy had a great year. He really, really did, and he was the home run king this year. He had a great year. I mean, what a sleeper. That guy was at the beginning of his career when he was with St. Louis, and he gets traded over to the Yankees. People kind of doubted him. And you got guys like Brett Gardner, and the guy's been there forever. I mean, look what he's been able to do in the Yankees uniform. I mean, super underrated. I mean, right? I mean, he's just, and you got DJ LeMahieu, who like hits the batting title every single season. You know what I'm saying? So a guy, this is a hit machine. He's a hit machine, and the Yankees are just stacked. I mean, Giancarlo Stanton, I know he's hurt a lot. He looked good in the series, hit a few home runs. Gleyber Torres went deep in this first game as well. The Yankees are just a powerful team, and they just totally outslugged them in the first game, 12-3. They just destroyed them in the first game, 12-3. And this was not a good outing out of the Indians starting pitching in this series. It just was not. I mean, no one pitched well at all for the Indians in this series. It just did not go well for them at all. Their pitching was bad in this series. You look at Shane Bieber, 4 2/3, 9 hits, 7 earned runs, 2 walks, and 7 strikeouts. That was just absolutely horrendous. How can you win a game if you have a guy only going 4 2/3 and allowing 7 earned runs? That's just terrible. That's absolutely terrible. And they just got creamed in that first game. And last night, it was kind of like a back-and-forth slugfest. I mean, it was a 10-9 final score of the Yankees. I mean, that was more of a close game. The Indians' offense was kind of waking up too. But still, I mean, they blew a lead here. And they just did not look good in the first game. But in the second game, they did look a little bit better. They hit some doubles, drove in some runs. Stanton going deep again for the Yankees. Can he stay healthy? If Giancarlo Stanton can stay healthy, he's a guy who could hit 35 to 40 home runs a season for you. And he just hasn't been able to stay healthy, and that's why he hasn't been able to do that over the past 2 years. It's just because he's had so many injury problems. It's really a shame if you're a Yankees fan. It really, really is. I mean, the injuries that they have, but they're still able to win. They make it. It seems like they always make it to the ALCS, and then that's it. That's it for them. They don't go any further. So it's been frustrating for the Yankee fans. I'm sure they have high hopes, though. And I mean, you should. I mean, this is you got a shot here in a shortened season like this. I mean, you have a shot to make it to the World Series. I mean, you beat the Indians. Now moving on to the ALDS, you got to take it one step at a time. If you're the Indians here in this series, it's absolutely pathetic. Year after year after year, you just choke. But you were just outpowered in this series. I mean, in the second game, it was kind of a close game. 10-9, your final score, as I said. That was just a back and forth slugfest. And the first game was just a slugfest for the Yankees. The Indians didn't do anything. I mean, they were just always pushed across 3 runs. I mean, it just wasn't good enough. And the offense was the reason why the Yankees won the series. So there's a key factor to every series win, and every win you get just in a game, period. And this series win came from the Yankees offense just being amazing. It just was amazing. And the guys that normally produce and show up, I mean, they just hit a ton of home runs. They have a lot of power on their team. I mean, they're just a great team, especially if they could stay healthy. Even with the injuries, they still win. I mean, it's just amazing to me. But if you're going back to the Indians, if you're the Indians, it's just another disappointment. I mean, how many times are you guys going to make it to the playoffs and just choke and just lose out of the first round? So it's got to be frustrating for the Indians. My goodness. I mean, you have the longest World Series drought right now in baseball. And you can't seem to get it going, right? I mean, you just can't seem to get it going. And you just snuck in and expanded playoffs, too. That's another thing. I mean, it wasn't like they, were 10 games over 500. So it was kind of a frustrating ending for the Indians. But the Yankees, unsurprisingly, are moving on to the ALDS. Now, if you want to go look at the starting pitching for the Yankees, I mean, it was good in the first game. Garrett Cole was on the mound. A guy that his first year in a big contract. The most money guaranteed to a pitcher in MLB history. He went 7 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 13 strikeouts. Garrett Cole with 13 strikeouts. He was masterful. That's what a guy, if you're going to pay a guy that kind of money, that's what you expect out of him. If you don't get that out of him, then that's a disgrace, because you got to get that production out of your ace. You're going to pay a guy that kind of money, then that's what you should be doing out in the field. That's my opinion about it. That's what you should be doing. If you're going to be paying that guy the most money guaranteed to a pitcher in MLB history, he should be striking out 13 people over 7 innings. I mean, that's what he should be doing for you. So, not surprising there. I mean, Garrett Cole is a great pitcher, and that's all there is to it. And the Indians' starting rotation was not good in this series, as I said earlier. And that really was a backbreaker for them. As I talked about Shane Bieber, in that first game, he was not good. And as I said, they lost. I mean, they're a small market team. They had to trade away Mike Clevenger. That's what a lot of these small market teams do. When they have a good player like that. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they traded away Francisco Lindor. If they're going to be coming up on free agency, arbitration, they just don't feel like paying somebody. They're just going to go out and just trade them for prospects. That's what the smaller market teams usually do. If it's like an amazing superstar like a Mike Trout of the world or something like that, then they're going to try to lock him up. And they're going to try to lock up anybody. It's just, as a small market team, you can't keep everybody. I mean, even the New York Yankees, no team can re-sign everybody, but especially it's much, much harder on these smaller market teams. So it's much, much harder for them. But Carrasco was on the mound. He looked good early. There was that rain delay, and he just got rattled or something. He only went 3 innings, 2 hits, 4 earned runs, 3 walks, and 6 strikeouts. They had the tarp on the field. It was totally delayed, and then they take it off, they play it, it's pouring rain, and then they put it back on again. It just wasn't a good job by the grounds crew there, and that was Major League Baseball's call, not the grounds crew at Progressive Field. That was a Major League Baseball decision. But that was just a mess last night with that, and I think that might have thrown him off because he looked good early. If you want to go look at Tanaka, he struggled. And this is why they went out and signed Garrett Cole, because they needed an ace in that rotation, because this Tanaka, you couldn't really rely on him much in the postseason. Only went 4 innings, 5 hits, 6 earned runs, 3 walks, and 3 strikeouts. He just was not good. He just wasn't. That's just plain and simple. The Yankees were still able to win this game because of their offense. Their offense was just amazing. As I said, Giancarlo Stanton producing. I mean, you got guys, even guys like Aaron Hicks over there as well. I mean, they just have a good team. That's all there is to it. I mean, as I said, they could stay healthy. I do think they can win a World Series. There's no question about that. They just had so many injuries over these past couple of years, and that's why I think it's really affected them. And as I said, Luke Voigt. I mean, the normal people that produce for this Yankees team were producing in this series, and they look good. And that's why they're moving on to the ALDS. Another just choke out of the Cleveland Indians is absolutely disgraceful for the Cleveland Indians. It's just year after year after year. Their starting pitching was not good in this series, and they're done. They are done. Like the Toronto Blue Jays and the Minnesota Twins. They are going to be sitting on the couch the rest of October watching baseball with them not in it. So it's disappointing for them. Another one bites the dust as we now have the Evil Empire moving on. My predictions, I mean, we'll see. I mean, the Yankees could win this World Series, but I don't think they will. I still got the Rays taking that. The Yankees will take on the Rays next, which is going to be interesting. I don't know. I think the Rays will prevail on that. I do. I really do. That's going to be in Tampa Bay. So that should be interesting. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe if you have not yet. Please turn on the notification bell. Please like this video, comment on this video, share this video. Check out the social media link in the description section at Phillies House of Instagram, our Fanatics Instagram. Call or text 267-225-3392. Email me, phillieshouse@gmail.com. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I am Luke, and I will talk to y'all later. Yankees sweep out the Indians, moving on to the ALDS. Easy series for the Yankees. Their offense was unstoppable. Starting pitching was good in Game 1, not so good in Game 2, but they still were able to win because their offense picked it up. So that is it. I'll see you guys later.